Vikings fans, the NFL draft is in the books. In just a moment, we're going to hand out a grade for Kwesi Adofo-Mensah after we take a look at every single pick that he made in his first draft as this team's GM. But before we do that, help us out. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers as soon as possible. We're just a few hundred away. Let's get there. If you want more Vikings videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. More news and rumors to come here on Minnesota Vikings Now. You're watching Vikings Now by Chat Sports. I'm Harrison Graham. Like we mentioned, the NFL draft is over. UDFAs are starting to sign, but we'll worry about that later. We're going to focus on this draft class for Minnesota, one that I think is actually pretty darn good. And after we break down every pick, we will go ahead and hand out a grade, an overall grade for Minnesota. We start in round one at pick number 32. It is Lewis Cine out of Georgia, the safety, who I like quite a bit. I actually like this pick by Minnesota. The secondary needs some help. Good tackler, likes to play in the box. I'll be curious to see how he fits next to Harrison Smith. Should be a fun duo back there because I do think he's a starting caliber player. A little undersized for his kind of not reckless play style, but a guy who likes to hit wide receivers and tight ends very, very hard. We'll see if his skill set translates at a high level in the NFL. 9 pass breakups, 1 interception, one of 15 players drafted from the University of Georgia this year in the NFL draft, and a record for a single college football team. Grade the Vikings draft this year. We're going to hand out my grade at the end, so stay tuned for that. A, B, C, D, or F. Let us know how you guys think Kwesi Adofo-Mensah did in his first draft as this team's GM. Another member of the secondary with the next selection here, that is Andrew Booth Jr. I like the skill set. He's got good ball skills, good size as well. He's athletic. He's aggressive. He's not scared to mix it up at the quarterback position, which I like quite a bit. Had 3 interceptions last year for Clemson, 5 pass breakups. I like the size at over 6 foot and almost 200 pounds out of the state of Georgia. I thought he might sneak into round 1, so to get him, 10 picks into round 2, I think that value is pretty good overall. The next pick was Ed Ingram, who I thought it was a little early, though, for him, but I think he could be a starting guard in the NFL, plays with a lot of power, has some off-field red flag issues, accused of sexual assault several years ago, but the Vikings went ahead and picked him here. Powerful player, needs to get lighter on his feet. Can struggle in pass pro sometimes, but I like him as a run blocker. 59 felt a little early. I thought he was going to be more of a mid-late round 3 guy. He sneaks into round 2 for Minnesota. Like the player, thought the pick was a little high, though. Favorite Vikings draft pick this year? I would probably go with Andrew Booth Jr. at 42 overall. I think that was the best value and maybe the best player they got in this draft. Let us know what you guys think in the comments section. I also like Brian Asamoah out of Oklahoma. I think the value here is much better than the value was for Ed Ingram with the last pick. Athletic, rangy. He has some coverage skills with those nice physical traits, and he absolutely will knock people's heads off as well. Little undersized, but that's kind of the modern-day linebacker, 226 pounds. I'd like it if he was 235, but at the end of the day, that's a major difference there. 80 tackles for the Sooners last year, a couple of forced fumbles. I think he has some good coverage skills as well. Curious to see where he fits on this Vikings defense. Akayleb Evans, a player I really like, and I think in day 3 was good value because he has good size and he has good length as well, which gives him a chance to make up if he's beat by half a step. He's a willing tackler, which I like from the cornerback position. You don't always see that. 6 pass breakups and interception for the University of Missouri this past year. He was getting some buzz in the last couple of weeks, so I think getting him in round 4 is pretty good. And I like the Vikings' emphasis of going heavy in the secondary because that is a position group that they needed to improve. Make sure you Vikings fans subscribe. Want to quickly remind you guys to do that. The more subs we get, the more videos we are able to do. If we get enough subscribers on today's video, maybe we'll do a UDFA tracker video tomorrow. Stay tuned. We'll see who else the Vikings add, but we got to get enough subscribers today, so it's kind of up to you guys. Let's go to round 5, pick number 165, Esezi Otomewo out of Minnesota, the edge. I'm just going to call him EO from here on out. Had 3 sacks. I like the traits. He's kind of a tweener, 6'5", 280. He can kick inside. I think he could be a 3-tech if you want him to go that route. I'll be curious to see how he fits on this front. Obviously, Minnesota needed to retool this defense, which is why a lot of the picks they made were on that side of the ball. However, Ty Chandler was not on the defensive side of the ball. He was on the offensive side of the ball. Running back out of North Carolina, had a breakout year last year for UNC because the year before they had a couple of draft picks, including Javonte Williams, who had a nice rookie year for Denver. Catches the ball well, pretty good speed. His speed dial did not match his athletic testing, so keep that in mind. We'll see if that can translate to the football field this fall. Vederian Lowe, the offensive tackle out of Illinois, 6'4.5", 314 pounds. And honestly, my main takeaway when you draft offensive linemen on day 3 of the draft is good. You should take a lot of offensive linemen if you can on day 3. See if you hit on a couple, because there is an offensive line shortage in the NFL, at least quality offensive line shortage. Maybe you hit on day 3. Maybe Lowe is someone you hit on. You can never have enough quality offensive linemen, and you can never have enough competition at that position, so I don't mind this whatsoever for the Minnesota Vikings. What is the worst pick that the Vikings made this year? What do you guys think on this one? I don't know if there was a really bad pick, but be a hater, that's how we like to be these days. Nice and divisive here. Worst Vikings pick this year for Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. He added a wide receiver at pick number 191, Jalen Nailor, the wide receiver out of Michigan State, just over 5'11", 186 pounds, a little slight on the frame there. 37 grabs, 695, and 6 touchdowns. Big yards per catch, about 18 there. I like the average, like the upside. We'll see if he can turn it to a player on this offense that obviously has a lot of good receivers. Nick Muse, the tight end out of South Carolina, 20 catches, 222 yards, couple of touchdowns last year, 6'4.5", 258 yards, decent blocker. My rule when you get into the 7th round, there's pretty much not a bad pick. So I don't mind adding a depth tight end here. He can come in, compete, maybe earn a roster spot. If not, he's someone you can develop on the practice squad. There you go. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah's first draft in the books. I'm going to give him a B+. I liked a lot of the picks here, especially early on in the draft to get Lewis Cine and Andrew Booth Jr. I thought those were both good picks, and there were a couple other good value picks as well, including Ty Chandler, the running back out of North Carolina. B+ from me, but I want to know, are you happy with this draft for the Vikings? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I think you should be. I think it was a good draft for Kwesi, and obviously we won't know for sure until a couple of years from now. Y for yes, in for no. We'll see you soon here on Vikings Now.